Okay, so I am talking about Instagram today, and so I don't have any Wi-Fi. I'm at my in-laws, so I came to Starbucks because I'm also out of data. So I'm sorry if it's super loud. I am going to make this short and sweet, and wanted to record it so that anybody that couldn't make it today can learn how I use Instagram for my business. So my name is April McDonald. I am a 7-star coach, 2015 elite, and my goal is 10-star this year, but my plan to get there has been a little rocky. So that's the goal, but really just want to focus on getting star diamonds in my downline is kind of my biggest goal this year. So what I've really loved about Instagram is I found 3 of my diamonds there. I found my coach there, and you know, a lot of people always say you want to find your coaches kind of the same way that you found your coach. So a lot of my team is really rocking out on Instagram. So I talk about this a lot. So I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to follow. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. I feel like this music in here is really loud, so I hope you can hear me okay. All right. Let's see, where did my Zoom go? Give me 1 second. All right, well, I have this full screen and I can't see the chat, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, but I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. So on Instagram, my name is april_McDonald. You can find me there, and a little bit about me. I've lost about 30 pounds on my journey. I'm currently pregnant, 7.5 months pregnant now with our first child, so I have another transformation coming up. But basically, you know, with Instagram, this is a business, so you have to be professional. Show up in your pictures how you would show up to work. You know, a lot of times for us, we're like the leggings, yoga pants queen, and, you know, makeup is something that is very rare for us. I totally get that. But you can use filters, you can use other things to make your pictures look better. So show up in your pictures how you would show up to work. You want people to, you know, want to look at your page. So especially on Instagram, you're going to need to brighten them up, make them clear to see. Don't add a ton of wording, because Instagram, when people are searching hashtags, like your words are like this big. So you want to make sure that, oh, dang it, what did I just do? Sorry. So you want to make sure that you're seeing your picture is showing up as bright as possible, because as people are searching hashtags, your little pictures are coming up so small. So you got to make them eye-catching and stop with the freaking collages. I hate collages, like when people have a ton of photos or like ugly borders and colors, and just, it should not be more than like 2 pictures side by side as like a before and after, maybe 3 if you're like, which hairstyle should I do, or which boots should I wear, you know, for engagement. But you really want to just focus on no more than 2 pictures, because it's so like your eyes don't know where to go, especially on Instagram when your pictures come up smaller. So, right, there's a difference between being clean and presentable and being fake. So I always tell my team, don't want to do your makeup, there's an app for that. And I'm not saying like you can't ever come across as raw or vulnerable or a hot mess, because that's also part of our job. But, you know, you also want to have, you know, some pictures with you looking presentable. So I love the app Perfect 365. You can add some makeup. You can, you know, having a bad breakout day, you can you know, filter that kind of thing, but don't want to come across as fake. You don't want to be that person that people are like, oh, I just can't, she always has her makeup done, I can't compare to that, how does she do it? You know, if people will comment like, April, oh my gosh, your eyelashes look so great, I'm like, oh girl, that was an app. I added them on the app. I was playing with it. So I'm not coming across as fake, because when I get compliments, people are like, oh my gosh, I love your makeup. I'm like, girl, I did that in an app. Let me show you this app. It's so fun to play with. So you're being real, and not trying to come across as fake. So in a noisy social media world, you have to stand out. You have less than 2 seconds to capture somebody's attention. So let your pictures do that, and your content is what will keep them there, because they're going to realize they have things in common with you. All right, so here are my top apps for picture editing. Motive I always use for side-by-side pictures. If you're using those, don't make the background a color or anything like that. I actually usually click frame adjust and get rid of the frame altogether. I don't know why I'm like anal about that stuff. It bothers me. Perfect 365, which I mentioned, is the makeup app. So you can add makeup to your pictures. And Camera Plus is probably my favorite. That's my go-to, that you can just add some really fun filters. I love the HDR for certain things, but there's really great filters in that. Candy Cam is really cool too. That's a really great way to kind of brand your pictures where they're kind of always the same look. If you use the same type of filters that makes it easy. Don't really use Afterlight. Aviary is cool. You can blur things out in the background. Sometimes I'll do that, especially with like baby bump pictures or a sweaty selfie or something, especially if there's like mess in the background. Whiteogram is really cool because you can use that and it will make a picture a square. So it adds white either to the sides or the top so that it makes it square. Because on Instagram, you have to post a square. WordSwag is probably my favorite for adding photos because you have so many options, color, font. It makes it look really professional. It looks like a graphic designer versus that Photify to me just looks cheap and elementary. So I really love WordSwag. And these are all, I have an iPhone. I think most of them are there, but I don't think that Camera Plus and Vibrantly and maybe WordSwag are available with Samsung, but I'm not sure. But Vibrantly is awesome for food pictures. I only use that for food pictures. But another tip is when you're having your food, go take it outside. I always take my plate outside, take a picture, and then the outside lighting is the best, and then I'll usually use Vibrantly. If you're taking selfies, the tip is look towards the window when you take that picture. It'll really brighten it up a lot. So, and again, I can't see the chat. I have a full screen, so if you guys have any questions or want to stop me, feel free to just ask if you're on this call right now. But yeah, I'm just going to keep going otherwise. So use hashtags on every picture. I have my team save a set of 25 to 30 in the notes section. I have them make a couple of them, and I just slap the same set of notes on every picture, and I'll add a little bit more specific ones to each thing. So what I do is I just have them, I put them in their phone, and then you can copy and paste. So some of mine are like German Shepherd lover, vino, I love wine, I love to run, or things like that. So I kind of use like all of my different target markets all in one, because even if it says like love my German Shepherd and people come to my page and it's not a picture about a German Shepherd, they're going to come to my page and see my German Shepherd. So, and another thing I'll do is 30 weeks pregnant, and then that's a really cool one if you're pregnant to search, because that's like, you already have that in common. Like, oh my gosh, I'm the same, we have the same due date kind of thing. So, but yeah, I just kind of slap those on the same picture. What's best to do is right when you post it, because Instagram now filters the tag photos based off the time of the posted picture, not the time of the posted hashtag, which used to be really awesome because maybe you had a post for 2 weeks and then you're like, oh, I want to bring this back to the top. I'm going to put 25 new hashtags, and it doesn't work as great anymore because it's chronological instead of just when you put the tag on it. Be somewhere in the middle of generic and specific when you're doing your hashtags. Instagram is really cool because you can actually just type in the hashtag into the search on Instagram and it'll tell you how many people use it. So you can get an idea of, what to use. So if you just do hashtag dogs, it's a waste of time. Nobody will see it because it's going to keep going down. And, unless somebody's looking at like the same millisecond that you post it, they're not going to see your post. And so it's just a waste of time. Same thing with like hashtag fitness. Like nobody's going to see that because the whole world and their mother uses that. So, being super specific, like GSDs are my fave, is probably a waste of time because you might be the only one tagging it. But GSDs are the best, or it doesn't really seem that much different. I think I meant to say love my GSD is a great middle ground. So if you don't know if it's a good one or not, start typing it into the tags and you'll see to aim it for at least 10,000. If it comes up that's like you and a bajillion other people are using it, that's not a good one to use. So I always do a couple funny ones too. If it's like a humorous post, I'll do like hashtag we'll squat for guap, or something if I post a picture of Chipotle or something. But just kind of because humor is a big thing for me. So you can post up to 30 hashtags. So that's why I say kind of like do a set of 25 so you can do other hashtags, just silly ones in your comments or something. I always post these as a separate comment, not in my caption, because it makes it less like crazy to your eyes as well. So don't put it in your actual caption, put it in a comment below. And then I use those same hashtags to 531 people. So what is 531? This is actually something that I have put into my power hour every day. My team does this as well. And this is a new way for us to find new people every day. So you basically will search one of those hashtags, so for me, I might search love my GSD. And then I'm going to look at a picture and I'll click on one and then I'll go to their page. And I like to check to make sure, one, they're female because that's my target market, two, they're from North America. And then I will kind of like five or six of their photos. I'll comment on 3 of them, open-ended questions like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. How old is your baby? What's his name? Something like that. Or if it was a running post of a runner, because I used to be a huge runner, I might say, oh my gosh, that is a great time. How was the course? Or how did you feel? Did you finish strong? Or something like that you're asking an open-ended question that's going to make them have to comment back, not like thanks or thumbs up. And then I send them an invite message and I say something along the lines of like, oh my gosh, I just stalked the crap out of you. I just love your post. Are you on Facebook? Because we should be friends. I don't say, hey, I have a free accountability group on Facebook. You should add me, blah, 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 because that's spammy and gross and annoying. And you don't want to be that person, because I'm sure probably 80 other Beachbody coaches have already tried that on them and it doesn't work. So I just focus on building relationships. And my whole goal is to try to get them over to Facebook. And I do that in an invite message. I either do a message or a lot of times I'll just write it right on the comment on their photo. So search for hashtags to use to find these people. Avoid using fitness related hashtags because they're usually either a coach or working with a coach or, doing another network marketing. So I don't even go by fitness related hashtags. I really just focus on my target market and go from there because I want to build something based on a relationship, not then try to decipher, if they're already a coach or already working with another business or something like that. So yeah, I incorporate 10 to 15 minutes into my power hour every day of just 531ing. Because when I'm adding 3 people to my network, it's getting harder and harder for me to just go to the people you may know section. I swear they all are already friends with my coaches anymore. And I'm not getting a ton of quality people that way. So this is really people that I have something in common with that I want to work with. So I find this is easier for me to add people this way versus just going from the people you may know section. All right, now Instagram is a website. So you just go to Instagram.com. So I'll put that there. Oh crap, I don't know what I did. But you can do that. Okay, there we go. And then you can try it free for 3 days, or you can pay, I think it's $9.99 for 30 days. And basically, you are going to interact with people here. So sorry, I made this a long time ago and I'm trying to edit some things as I go. But use, different but similar hashtags for your Instagram. Because if you're 531ing every day, then you don't need to be using the same hashtags, but use similar ones. So instead of German Shepherd to the best, use I love my GSD. But if you're not being diligent in 531, then it really doesn't matter. You can use the same ones. It's just kind of like you don't need to be double dipping. Again, don't use generic hashtags. They have a suggested list of them. I used to leave those and then add my own. And I had friends that were like, why are you liking this? It was liking pictures that were like F this and M&M and half naked men. And I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh. So you have to be specific with your hashtags because those are not the kind of people that you want to be attracting. So basically the premise of Instagram is liking people's photos. So if they see that April and McDonald liked 6 of their photos, they're going to be like, who is this? And then they're going to go to my page and decide whether or not that they want to follow me. And that's what I want. I want to get, people's eyes on my stuff. If you want to get your follower count up, you can do follow button on for a few hours or half a day. It moves fast and it will follow a crap ton of people. So you never want your following number to surpass your follower number. You want to be more people interested in you than, you're following people kind of idea, because you don't look as credible that way. So, then if you're doing that follow feature, you can go through and unfollow any males, anybody not in your target market, anybody not from North America, and then you can 531 any of those new people that you follow that you like. So that's just an option. Sometimes I do that. For the most part, I am just doing likes. I really don't like comments because sometimes they can be so generic, like love this or that's awesome. Or you might see some people like great shot on your post. It's just annoying when you can kind of tell that, you know, that they weren't, that it was a bot or something like that. So I don't ever want to get that opinion. And one of my coaches, this isn't funny, but one of my coaches said something like, I love this, or this is great. And it was like somebody's post about like her grandma passing or something. And they were like, that's awful. Why would you say that? And she was like, so yeah, I really don't like the comment feature because you never know what you're commenting on. You're just commenting generic comments that you put in based off of a hashtag that they may have used. So yeah, I really just do likes, but do whatever you want. All right, interacting with followers. You need to respond to everyone. They took the time out of their day to love on your stuff, so take the time out of yours to respond. I actually have delegated this out to my assistant, my virtual assistant, because she's I'm 29, she's 29, she's sarcastic, she's funny, she swears, and so we have a lot in common. So I'm like, just respond to these people, and if you have anything that like you feel like I need to respond to, just let me know, because I would rather just her comment and her engage with them than me not get to it, because that's something that I struggle with. So just delegate the stuff that you don't have to be doing. So, you know, and if somebody, I can also go through my notifications and go through those people and add those people that commented to my 531 list. So I write down everybody that I 531 the same way that I would write down anybody that I talk to about, you know, other things. Like I use my power of threes. I also have a tracker for everybody I talk to that day. So, you know, you can do whatever you want, but I do write down anybody that I think would be a quality 531 person, and then I can easily follow up for that week. If somebody comments on your post, you're going to see it without them tagging you. But for you to respond back to them, you have to tag them. They're not going to get a notification. So if you're just saying, if, you know, Fitness Girl comments on your post, like, oh, I love this April, and you just write back, thanks, girl, they're not going to see it. You have to do @Fitness Girl. Thanks, girl. I so appreciate it. You know, something like that. Don't discredit word of mouth. If people like you, they will talk about you to their friends. So adding value and figuring out, like, you know, what makes you want to follow people or go to blogs or things like that, and adding value to them. So I always put these people on my list to 531 later when they're commenting on my stuff. They're clearly interested in something that you have to say. All right, calls to action. These are really, I mean, it's the same thing like how you're doing on Facebook, but you can change it by changing that link in your bio. So depending on what I'm asking, I will put my call to action link in my bio, because links aren't clickable in your caption. So if I make a coaching post and ask people to add me on Facebook, I can put my link to my Facebook in my bio. If I make a post for my people to like my Facebook like page for a recipe, I'm going to change that. No, it's not currently the 22-minute hardcore Woofu link, but it was when I made this. So, you know, you can do a Woofu link, and if you don't have a blog or a website, don't stress. Woofu's free. Make a form so you can capture their information there. If my call to action is a message, I just say message me. Like, some people are too lazy to find you, so let them message you on Facebook, let them message you on Instagram, whichever. Just basically my whole goal is to get them over to Facebook. What to post? So you figure out who your target market is and you post to them. So for me, mine are like people that like wine, peanut butter, pizza, guacamole, German Shepherds. I have like 4 or 5 coaches on my team that have German Shepherds. I just, you know, like attract like. So talking to people that have the same sense of humor as you, whatever it is. And like I said, think about your favorite Facebook, Instagram, or blog writers, and think what value they give you and duplicate that. So for me, I'm a really big sucker for recipes, and I realize that I have really been slacking on that, partly because I'm pregnant and eating the world right now, and I haven't been very good at sharing recipes. So I know that that's on my list of things that I need to get better at. Selfies and puppy pics and kiddo pictures are awesome, but honestly, like, your mom is the only one who truly follows you for that. So make sure you're adding value. People are not following you for your cute kids. I'm sorry to say that, but they're not. They want to know, you know, how to better themselves, how to make that recipe, how to do that workout, things like that. So post 1 to 2 times a day. Be you. Don't be a Beachbody robot. Don't be too professional. Just write like you're talking to your best friend, and always share your story and share it often, because you're always getting new followers. You're always getting new eyes on your photos, and not everybody's going to scroll down 17 layers deep to find your story. So inviting to coaching and challenge groups every week, the same way you do on Facebook, because if they don't know that you're running a fitness group every month and they can join you, and they don't know that you're a coach and that they can join you, you're kind of, just doing yourself a disservice. So just slap your Facebook post over to Instagram. What to invite to, how to do that, just the same thing. Hold on one second. Okay, just the same thing how you invite on Facebook. A lot of times I'll say to join, add me to Facebook at facebook.com/april.pinkney.5. Message me with, I went in on your boot camp, things like that. Sharing your story, you guys know this, just making sure that you're documenting it. I've suffered with eating disorders and things in the past. I'm talking about that. Don't think that people are sick of seeing your story, because your eyes are always on your account. And also with those hashtags, somebody might be searching the hashtag that didn't, follow you before, and their story might really resonate with them. I invite people to tag friends by doing something silly. I had like 33 comments of people tagging friends, and those are people I can add to my 531 list. I'm always posting something silly to keep people engaged. Sharing your story, I guess the last one was a fitness transformation, but making sure to share your story and realize that whatever it is that you struggle with, that's the kind of people that you want to capture. You guys know all that already. So and just grow every day. Just making sure that, it doesn't matter where you started. I only had 200 followers. Now I have over 20,000. So just keep going. Shalene Johnson's Instagram Impact Academy is awesome. That's basically where I learned everything I know. With my coach, who's really big into Instagram. So kind of just always been part of my focus. I can't figure out my Facebook like page for the life of me, but Instagram has kind of been my jam. If you're already putting it on Facebook, slap it on Instagram, brand yourself. And when people should think of you when they think of what, and it doesn't have to be. So much of my stuff is related to food, and that's okay. But the other thing is being the best version of yourself. Knowing you are good enough, things like that, because that was the one thing that I struggled with the most. That negative voice inside my head was always like, you're not good enough. So I tried to turn that into a positive, and that's the message that I always try to send. And I actually will have people kind of post me and things like, oh, I thought this message made me think of you, which is really cool. Just knowing that other people are, seeing what you're putting out there and seeing that message that you're constantly sending and want to know more about it. So that was basically all I had. Joy or Jess, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. But you're welcome. Thanks for hopping on, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop this recording, and then I will post it in our team page. And thank you so much for hopping on. Talk to you later.